So welcome to our community network webinar. We are joined by the lovely UK Power Networks and specifically lovely Flora.
Hi, thanks.
Yeah, so I'll now pass over to you, Flora.
Thanks, Rowan. Thanks. Nice to see you guys. I'm just here to give you guys a presentation about UK Power Networks, who we are, what we do, how we support communities, but more specifically community energy, and which resources you could use if you needed any more information or who to reach out to. So I'll just get started now. So who we are and what we do, just in the case that you don't already know. So we own and maintain electricity cables and lines across the east of the UK, London, and the southeast. So as you can see on the map, the highlighted in orange area is the one that we serve. And we ensure that power flows reliably, safely, and securely. So we're basically the company that you'd call if you get a power cut. Your electricity supplier, like Octopus Energy, like E.ON, etc., they're the company you use to buy your electricity from, and they're the ones you pay your bills to. But we're the ones who maintain the infrastructure itself. So our priorities as a company are to tackle the climate crisis by connecting renewable energy, electric car chargers, low carbon heating, or any other sort of new homes and properties. We're the ones to call if you wanted to connect to the network, to the low voltage network. So I'll spend the first few minutes just talking you through what that means or what that could look like. So just as a high-level journey as a customer, we have a number of tools to enable you to look at our network and policies. So let's say you're looking to buy an electric vehicle and you wanted to deploy a charger, an electric charger for your EV, either in your house or if you're a local authority on street. So we have digital tools that can help you find the ideal locations for your charge points, for example, or we've got other pre-application support to help you identify the best location or in terms of costs and times. We'll go through that in a second. But if a job or if a request is quite complex, we do hold connection surgeries with our lovely connections team, where you can talk through your request and they'll give you a list of options and prices that could be applicable, or clarifying if there is a cost involved or not to the job. The next step would then be an online application. There'd be a bit of a back and forth between us if it's a more complex, but you can manage your applications digitally through the different portals that we have. And then once you've accepted the quote that we send you, we agree the delivery of the work of the program to make sure that we can adapt to any changes. And I'll be dropping links to the different connection support in the chat in a bit. So if you're looking to make a connection, we have a number of online support tools. So from a more technical perspective, we've got our technical standards, our G81. We've got the in-person support, particularly pre-application support and advice. So I'll just drop the link in the chat now if you had any connections questions or pre-application questions. And then we also have our open data portal that contains both our own sort of data set, but also external data set. And there's a wide range of data sets on there that range from our secondary substation locations, network and infrastructure usage maps to show you where sort of projects are being deployed and developed on the network, as well as how the network and how the substations, how the infrastructure is actually being utilized. Now, in terms of costs, time, and what's involved, obviously different projects involve different levels of work and different sort of levels of complexity and different levels of connections. So if you're looking for a new connection for like a small property or a commercial property, we've got a wide range of resources that we can direct you to so that you can understand a little bit from a cost perspective what that would entail. And how long it would take for your connection to actually take place from the point where you accept the quote that we send you. But that's just here to show you that there are various different types of developments and various different types of connections that you can apply for with us. And those would require different sort of timelines and costs. And if you wanted to connect a project above 69 kVA or up to 69 kVA, so that's basically the size or the size of the connection. Basically, is it a business? Is it a property that is looking to serve a lot of people or lots of usage? And there's a different sort of pathway to get a connection there. But as UK Power Networks, we're the ones that take care of the infrastructure. We're the ones to make sure that if there's a power cut, we restore those connections. But what we have is also the distribution system operator. So the colleagues that actually touch the network, that take care of those connections applications, are part of the network operator. The distribution system operator, which is part of the team, which is sort of the directorate I'm part of, is a separate legal entity that we sort of launched in April 2023. So as the DNO delivers new assets, manages connections, makes sure that the network is fit for purpose and improves resilience and reliability and restores power after there's a power cut. What we're here to do is to determine the best value solution for customers at the right capacity and at the right place. So basically what we're doing is using smart technology to identify where we need to offer different types of solutions, like flexibility, for example, and making sure that those solutions are being utilized properly. So as a distribution system operator, and I'm part of the local net zero team, we've got three key roles as an operator. The first is network strategy and local net zero. So we're using data and insights to demonstrate how our network can best meet future capacity needs. So the more with net zero, we're going to be seeing more and more electrification. So more and more electric vehicles, heat pumps, solar PV connecting to the network, which means that there's going to be a strain, and we want to ensure that that doesn't lead to more power cuts, essentially. And by using data and insights, we can center for most cost-effective and transparent approach as to where we look to invest, to reinforce, to put new cables in, or alternatively to identify flexibility products and flexibility market development. You may or may not have heard what flexibility is, but essentially it's a way of using existing infrastructure, so existing cables and substations, in a smart way to save costs that can help us work towards net zero instead of building more infrastructure. So for example, certain times of the day, people tend to use more electricity. So usually peak hours, 5, 6 p.m. So what we do is we pay our customers money to reduce, for example, that demand, or to increase their solar PV sort of um, export to the network at peak hours, peak times. And then finally, from an operations point of view, we connect to all these different technologies and to all these systems from a distance and intelligently. So what we want to ensure that that's happening, we've got our control room where we ensure that those flexibility services are used efficiently and transparently. And we work closely with the DNO to determine where we need to sort of reinforce and do more work on the network, and where we can alternatively offer flexibility. Now, in terms of what makes us different, so we've got a dedicated local net zero team. We're here to support long-term decarbonization planning, and from supporting local authorities, we look to understand if local authorities have energy plans and projects that are coming up over the next 3, 5+ years. And then again, the DNO, you've got your connections team. If you've got ongoing projects or ready to launch projects, those are the sort of the teams you would need to be talking to. And we've got a wide range of data and digital tools. So I understand that I've shared quite a lot of information with you just now. But what we've got is our dedicated website that can help you navigate through net zero and energy planning. And I'm going to just drop the link in there. So if you just wanted to learn a little bit more and get yourself started, either within local area energy planning or understanding more about connection support, flexibility resources, or even understanding what the energy system looks like. To help you get started, let me just drop the link to that specific page. You can navigate more easily through the website and identify what works best for you. And then, as I mentioned earlier, we've got our open data page, but we've also got our local area energy planning open data page, and it's a one-stop shop for net zero relevant data. We've got more than 170 data sets on there that you can use for free if you're looking to develop a project, if you're looking to deploy solar PV on your property, or a charger, electric vehicle charger. You can find a lot of data that can help you plan that more easily. And the data sets on that open data page, the LEAP open data page, are separated in themes. So it's a lot more easy to navigate to what you might need. And I'll drop a link to the LEAP open data page here as well. Now, if you're also looking for a big connection and you wanted to save time and resources, we've got our Connections Lab, which is a self-serve tool that can help you do so. I'll share the slides to this that contain the links, and you can easily navigate to that. But essentially, you can create scenarios, add certain assumptions, and plan your connections in a more intelligent, sort of smart way to understand how your asset is going to be utilized essentially by us. And from a community perspective, we work very closely with community energy groups, for example, Community Energy South, which have now been sort of renamed to Community Energy Pathways. So we share a lot of best practice. We offer energy advice energy efficiency advice and advise on more effective and efficient ways that communities can reduce their carbon emissions. So we understand that from a distribution network operator perspective, we do have a responsibility to engage with our communities. So we partner with groups to support communities to secure suitable sites for energy development, and we share technical knowledge needed to implement projects, be it through our connections team or through our dedicated sort of community energy teams. At the same time, we also provide grants for impactful projects, and we've got a priority services register, which essentially ensures that we can support customers that are in more vulnerable circumstances during power cuts. And we've invested in this as well. So we've pledged £1 million to help community energy groups scale up their net zero program. And we essentially help train community energy staff, make sure that they've got those technical skills to support their communities. Now that was just a whistle-stop tour. I'm just going to stop presenting, but here and open to questions if you have any, or if anything wasn't clear.
That was really interesting. Thank you very much. So before I jump in with a question, I just want to ask the rest of the room if anyone has any questions, either pop it in the chat or raise your hand using the raise tool and put your mic on, basically. I'll sort of ask mine then while other people may be deliberating.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, you sort of mentioned towards the end about the community energy sort of networks and that sort of thing. Have you found a significant increase in interest in that over the last few years? I've heard them spoken about much more. I wondered how that actually manifested on your side.
Yeah, so because we understand how community energy organizations and groups, there is a lot of work happening with community energy groups. We have seen an increase. And because those community energy groups are, as their name would suggest, more embedded in those communities and have a better understanding of local characteristics in different areas of the UK, we've seen a lot of increase in investment from government as well. So we work with the Greater Southeast Net Zero Hub. So they basically a number of low carbon or low carbon energy hubs that support communities, and those are funded by the Department of Energy, Security and Net Zero. Sustainability and Net Zero, apologies. And we're seeing community energy funds being made available for the development of community energy projects, and yeah, we're seeing a lot of community energy projects coming up.
Thank you, that's great to hear.
No